Welcome back, all sports ranters. We are your hosts, Nico. Jake and Drew is on his way, and I am good old Gray Beard on the return. Thank you for joining us. We are live every 6 p.m. every Tuesday, and we want to remind all of our viewers that this is an open platform for all of you guys to come and ask us your fantasy football questions, whether it be your starts or sits or trades that are now over, or maybe you want to anticipate what to look for next year. But very soon we're all going to have our merch, our paraphernalia. Jake's going to be at the bar waiting for your questions. But if you can't make it there, please come join us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and ask us your questions live. And we'll get to it right here featured in our show. But we want to get right to it. Uh, Jake, Nico, good to see you guys. I know Drew's coming back in, but we want to recap our fantasy season. I'm very embarrassed to have a fantasy football podcast, but to be in also last place. Okay, so if you want, real quick, guys, we'll bring up our league this year, and to kind of remind everybody where we're at with all of this. So give me 1 second. Uh, Here it is. That's not it. All right, here it is. Here is our league standings this year with uh, what's his name? Mario in first place, and Nico sitting there at number two. I wanted to ask Nick that real quick. We have that on video of Nick for the first time ever going unorthodox, not going running back. He decided to go Travis Kelsey, number one, and then he hooked it with uh, Pat Mahomes. And significantly, Mario has Tyreek Hill and Tua. So you guys both have a theme going on, and you guys are significantly both in first, are in the race for first in the fantasy bracket. So, Nick, how do you now feel about this gamble that you made 10 years later in your league?
Well, you know, I'm in second, so I don't want to say like I don't feel good about it, but it wasn't because of those picks that I'm in second. That's the ironic part. So I went unorthodox, but I trusted um my research and my depth later on in the draft to supplement that, and it's been the other pieces of my team, not Patrick Mahomes and not Kelsey, that have been carrying my team. In between, obviously the big deal was CD Lamb. I got him in the second round before I went Patrick Mahomes. So CD's been doing work. I Again, it was trusting your research, but sometimes, just like we say in the draft, the NFL draft, dude, sometimes you just got to draft best available. I wasn't the biggest CD Lamb fan. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I knew he was gonna blow up. I felt he had a lot of garbage time points last year, and I didn't see him as a true number one receiver where he can just beat double teams consistently, all that stuff. Obviously, prove me wrong, but again, that's why you do the draft and the research, and there wasn't anybody after him, so I just drafted him because I needed receiver depth, and he was the best available. So he ended up panning out. But if you look at my other receivers with, Brandon Ayuk, Jacoby Myers, um, I also drafted Kyrie Williams. I know he's been on IR, but he helped me carry the first 4 weeks because I didn't like Cam Akers. Getting James Conner later and making a great trade with my boy Andrew over there. That was one thing we never got to talk about. I traded Damian Pierce and Chris Godwin for Jalen Warren and Garrett Wilson. So I think I got, got
Yeah,
the
you fucking got the great trade.
I had a great trade there. So having all that depth has carried my team, and it hasn't been Kelsey and Mahomes. So I'm kind of I'm very excited to make the playoffs. I've already clinched because I'm kind of waiting for Mahomes and Kelsey to go off, and hopefully the timing's right where they go off in the playoffs since they haven't really gone off yet, and that would help me carry me for the season. So we'll see what happens. But I'm very happy with my team.
Drew, welcome back. Like to know real quick, how do you feel? Even though the Jonathan Taylor situation, everything that went happening for you, Aaron Rodgers in the beginning of the season, it was all going horrible. But you still
Yeah.
managed to be better than me and my team. Gosh darn it!
Well, like if you look at my team as far as like points go and stuff like that, like I'm not really that far off compared to a lot of teams that are really really good. Like this year in our league is it's actually pretty damn close as far as like points for and all the other stuff. Where a lot of times it's the juggernaut people are like up there by 200 or 300 plus points on a lot of people. Where this league is it's a lot closer. But no, it sucks because I thought if I knew that if I were to beat Arik this week, I actually had a really legit chance, and I still somewhat do with Christian losing. Our division, I think the lead dog right now is 5-6. So essentially, if I just win out, I have a chance. I mean, like my team's not great, but
Stop it.
I know that if I win out, I have a decent chance to get there. Um, I know this week I had Jonathan Taylor and Ramondre Stevenson both on buys, so now I have pretty much bye week. I'm good on a lot of my players are done with the bye week, so I have a chance to get out there and maybe make a race like I did last year. We'll see.
Well, Jake, now that this year has gone down the way it has, and like I say, our division, the first place is 5-6. You're tied. What do you think has really made the difference this year with all the running back situations and everything going on? Like you said, Nick went unorthodox, but it was still his depth that kept him in the game. And it's going to be pretty scary if Mahomes and Kelsey all of a sudden becomes relevant. But what do you think has done it for most fantasy managers this year?
Well, Nick, actually, I mean, what he was saying, his depth. It's doing your research and it's hitting on those later round picks. I couldn't have been happier drafting Justin Jefferson, first overall. I thought that was a meal ticket into the playoffs, and regardless of how my draft went, but he gets hurt. But Nick hit big with Ayuk. Probably a little bit later on, Jacoby Myers, and then it's having the guts to pull the trigger on trades. And Nick saw something with Dameon Pierce early on where I know a lot of guys have held on to him, haven't wanted to trade him and stuff. Jalen Warren hadn't done a whole lot yet, but I mean, Jalen Warren's going to be a league winner now. I guarantee you now that Matt Canada's there, Jalen Warren is going to be the guy. And so, you gotta trust your gut, pull the trigger, make those trades. But you gotta in the draft too. It's never the first few rounds. It's not ever the first few rounds. In our league, having a good quarterback really helps. I slept on that this year. In past years, I haven't. I always try and get a quarterback in the first 3 rounds, and it just with passing touchdowns only being 4 points. I've been relegated to playing the Jared Goffs and the Daniel Jones and the Sam Howells and some of these filling guys that don't get the rushing touchdowns, and so it hurts. I forget who Mario's quarter. Oh, Tua. So he's been a stud, and Mahomes gets rushing yards, and so in this league, I think getting one of those quarterbacks early really, really makes a big difference. Because if you try to play the streaming game in this league, you get killed by the Josh Allens and the Jalen Hurts and the Mahomes and those guys. So
I would agree with you. My man crush this year was Anthony Richardson, and I got him late. And but he was in there. He was solid with rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, and obviously the gamble was he was a rushing quarterback, so he got injured. Okay, but I have like 5 games losing under single digits without him. And so I really feeling the weight of having a significant quarterback because, like you, ever since I lost Anthony Richardson, I'm going with the Howells, I'm going with the Jordan Reeds, I even went Gardner Minshew a couple times when he didn't blow up. Okay, and so I agree. I agree that because of the way the league has gone, quarterback definitely has to be on your radar in those early draft picks. Now here we're going back to the draft day and how significant your draft day is. I think that's what leads us right into our next segment of the kind of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, your man crushes. Who was it you think, Nick, that or anybody that you missed out on, or who you guys think were like the best value picks of the year? For instance, who were late but who have the most points. So, who's that one guy that you guys missed out on that you wish you had that you could have got that you didn't?
Yeah. So I'll start with that one. So a guy that the whole off season, when I was doing my research and listening to my, to my guys and stuff, the one guy that I really had like a feeling about, because I had him last year in a few leagues, was Brandon Ayuk. But when it came down to it, in every single draft, 6 leagues, I had 6 drafts. In every single draft, when it came down to his ADP and he was there, like I couldn't do it. Just with Deebo Samuel and then Christian McCaffrey, it was like I kept getting shy away from Brandon Ayuk. And that just because he was there. I mean, he was there in every single league where he should have been. I felt like he was never. I don't think people reached for him or anything like that. And I'm kicking myself for that one.
So real quick, I'm gonna share my screen now to remind us of how it all went down. Sorry, give me a second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah,
you're good.
What are you guys seeing?
I'm seeing the draft board.
Draft board? Okay. Yeah, here's our draft board. And the only thing I want to say about Andrew's draft, since you're on here, Andrew gambled a little bit with the Jonathan Taylor and Cam Akers a little bit early. And I think he's paying, he's paying for it with those early losses in the league. Obviously, Andrew's like, up there in points and stuff, but that's the gamble you kind of take with these guys if they're suspended or coming off injury. the Cooper Cup guys, all that. It's like, all right, like you're hoping they come back and they're gonna go off, but you might be down in the hole 1-3, 1-4, and are you gonna be able to climb back out? And that's where Andrew saw himself this year. It wasn't just Jonathan Taylor, but just in general, when you spend a 3rd round pick on a guy like that, that's something you're risking. You're risking your depth. You're risking a playmaker. You're risking another stud he could have got. As far as missing out on the guy, I don't know. I'm trying to remember my drafts. I don't think I really missed out on anybody because what I was scared of is what I really wanted to do was the Kelsey Mahomes tag team. So if I was gonna draft Travis Kelsey, I wanted Mahomes. I wanted the double dip. And that's all I wanted out of the draft. After that, it was, hey, let's see who falls to me and I'll draft accordingly. I didn't have my eyes with that strategy that I had. I didn't have my eyes on anybody else. It's just if I go Kelsey, I have to go Mahomes. And so I ended up going Mahomes in the 3rd to make sure I got him. I could have maybe waited to the 4th, but it would have been a gamble. I don't know if anybody else would have got him before me. So I would say I reached for Mahomes in the 3rd. On purpose. I wanted that double dip, and then after that, I just kind of drafted accordingly with who fell to me. One of my busts though, the Darnell Mooney late. I was a little higher on the Darnell Mooney. I didn't cost no draft capital, nothing. 11th round pick, but I thought he was gonna be another one of those guys, late with Justin Fields and the 2nd year, and they were gonna, have a better rapport there with the at least like a Tyler Lockett type of guy, boom or bust. Like he's gonna have his big weeks and down weeks. He's got nothing. So that I would just like to say about that draft is where I thought he would be better in my draft, and I ended up dropping him. So
Drew, before I pass it to you, I have to say after looking at this chart, the feeling that you have, I'm talking personally here. I remember how how amazing my pre-draft rankings were, and the guys that I were looking at, and how happy I was about it. Now I look at it now, I'm like, oh, that was so disgusting. With my DJ Moore
I
and
mean,
my Dalvin Cook here at 3 and 4. So,
I mean,
anyways, go
yeah,
ahead, Drew. Go ahead. What do you have to say?
it's brutal. I mean, I went for upside guys. You know what I mean? Like I know Cam Akers, he finished the year. I know, and this show has been more of like a laughing stock than anything else. But he finished the year with so much volume. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, okay, like I like the volume play. I like the guy who has upside. I like the guy who doesn't have much of a competition. And then he goes in there and he does nothing. And then you look at obviously Garrett Wilson. I mean, 4 plays later, Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. There goes all your upside with that. Jonathan Taylor, you're hoping that he can come back and be okay, which, I mean, since he's been back, he's been pretty good. But, I mean, like, he's not been, like, the top 5 running back that I was hoping that he would be. But, yeah, it's just disappointing. The whole
Justin Fields got hurt.
Justin Fields is disgusting.
Even when he wasn't hurt.
So, I mean, it's just you go on these guys that you just hope for upside, and it's just absolute dog shit. And that's why my team is suffering.
Dotson was an upside guy. Nothing there.
Hey, Darren Waller. I bought into that lie.
Yeah, Darren Waller. I mean, like, dude, these guys. It's just gross. You know, I mean, like, I think for me, I think the biggest one that I mean, it sucks because like if Garrett Wilson would have had Aaron Rodgers, I think that would have been a much different style of player or whatever. But so I think that one, and then obviously for me, I never take quarterback early, and I took Justin Fields, and that just really pisses me off because I could have took somebody else, but I wanted that high rushing upside to give myself a little bit of advantage, and it just completely donkey punched me. So yeah, I mean, having those middle rounds, you have to hit on middle rounds. I know somebody was talking about it earlier in the podcast where the first 3 rounds don't really matter. It's those 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds where really you need to hammer it home, and then you need to, get some good trades.
Yeah, but even that Ramondre Stevenson pick hurts you, right? Everything about that situation.
Ramondre Stevenson's been decent this year.
Oh, has he been? Okay. Well,
yeah, he's been decent.
All right. Well, I thought it wasn't panning out.
A little inconsistent, but he's been fine. I have him in another league. He
wasn't. I don't think he's somebody you want as your RB1. I mean,
no, he's not an RB1. That's the thing. And
he's my RB2.
But
he's not a bad RB2.
He's a good RB2.
He's not killing me.
Good RB2.
He's not killing me. That's for sure.
Right on. Well, Nick, if you don't mind taking us back out of the screen share, real quick. Oh, let me bring back the. There we go. Well, right on. So like I said, we're right on the cusp. Now we're back into our last league games, correct? It's week 11. We finished week 11, so now 12, 13, and 14.
We have one more week, and then our division games, right?
No, last 3 division games now.
It starts now?
Well,
yes, sir.
13, 14, because then the playoffs start 15, 16, 17.
Okay, got it.
And I just want to mention, because I got a chance to do this for our podcast. I hope I'm not the only one on the show in the playoffs here.
Oh, no.
Everybody else on the show, even Arik, who's not here, are not in the playoffs right now. So I just
the one year we do the 1 year.
The 1 year I make a spreadsheet. I'm finally there.
The 1 year.
Hey, I gotta gloat when you can. You gotta take it when you can.
I'm close. These divisional games, and luckily I have both Andrew and Ben in my division, so those should be some easy wins.
Okay. Here we go.
But I'm hoping I'm hoping I can catch Damien in the points.
No, Christian, right? Christian.
Dude, it's gonna be close, man.
It's Christian in your guys' division.
Yeah,
Christian.
I think it's Damien.
No, Damien's in mine. Mine is the toughest division. Damien, and Jaime are like all right there. Got good squads.
Gotcha.
I'm just glad I clinched. I'm in. I want that bye, but I'm in. I can live with whatever seed, but I'm in. Obviously, I want the bye week, but I clinched already.
Oh, playoffs. It sounds so good. So, anyways, yeah, I really don't know what to say. I'm usually in the race for lately in these leagues. Ever since it's been more competitive, I've been that guy that's in the race. The last week, I just need one more win to get into that playoff race. I'm usually in the race to get into playoffs, but significantly, I'm in last place in both of my competitive leagues, you guys, and I'm trying to understand. Is it I didn't pay attention as much? Did it just work out there? Because usually it's just one, but I'm in both of them. I'm in last place, and so is it my geriatric style? Is it that I'm so old school and I continue to go with that and stubborn? I didn't do anything. That's why it's starting to manifest on my team. I really don't know what to say or think I should say anything. I'm in last place, you guys. What kind of advice can I give at this point?
You gotta reevaluate some things, man.
I gotta reevaluate a whole lot of things, and so, but we'll go into that.
Okay, I'm making some spaghetti right now. Okay.
So, we kind of updated everybody with our league. We kind of know our standings. What we'll do next week is we'll kind of go into the matchups. We'll start going to the significant matchups and how our league is going to place, and I think Jake might have a chance to creep in. You're tied at 5 and 6, so, and I guess Drew has a chance. So
the bad beast.
So
hey, I like to say this is why I set up the league the way I like. I set it up. Not all leagues are like this, but I set it up with you start the league with 3 division games and you end the league with 3 division games. I think it makes it exciting. It makes it like real football. And this is it, Jake. Like, this is exactly why I have it this way. It's like, hey, you control your own destiny. You don't have to hope I win, he loses. No, beat your division, you're in.
The great thing is Ben and Andrew are both in my division. So this is going to be a really fun show for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, it will be. No,
you know
because if I come back from behind and I get in the playoffs, where you guys better believe you guys are gonna hear it. Because I started off like I did last year, I sucked ass, and if I somehow, some way sneak into the playoffs again, it's gonna be definite gloat.
That's a real quick point. We'll take a few minutes real quick to talk about the schedule because I'm in the other leagues, these 10-team leagues I'm in first place in. Okay, it's just random schedule. You end up playing 3 guys that suck. You play this, whatnot. And so I just want to say thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jake, for being the commissioners of our league, for having competitive leagues, for doing the Hadoku puzzle schedule. Because people don't know, that's a real deal to put that thing together. It takes a good
amount of time to do it.
Yeah, that's a real deal. And so I want to say I appreciate. I know I'm in last place, but I appreciate the fact that I'm in competitive leagues. And that it's structured in such a way that you better bring it. You better bring your A game on draft day. You better bring your A game during waiver wires. You better have good late round picks. And you better give good advice on your freaking fantasy football podcast. Oh my
Ben, you gotta play spoiler, Ben. You gotta play spoiler. Come on now.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. But to finish the show, we want to go into some ranting topics. Right now, Buffalo has been, I think, a little bit suspect. And we want to talk about a couple teams. But right now, Jake, I want to turn it to you. What is going on with the Buffalo Bills? A lot of people see them as they are by far top AFC contending teams. We've been waiting for them to kind of get over this hump. I know you pay attention to them most. What's been going on, man?
Okay. This offense. First off, we'll start with the offense. But ever since last year, the more and more I watch these games, it's the same game over and over. There has been zero effort to establish any kind of creative running game at all for this team. You have one of the fastest, quickest backs in James Cook that is completely misused for the whole game. He comes out. Once they get to the 20, he's out. They take him out. They put in Latavius Murray, this guy that is just some old school 1970s barrel of a running back up the middle. There's no creativity in the running back. There's in the running game. They absolutely misuse their talent in the running game. First off, okay. Second thing. they don't have they don't. What makes Miami so good? Why is Tyreek Hill so good? Tua does not have this arm that he throws the ball 60 yards downfield like Patrick Mahomes. What do? They say, we know what we got, and we're going to design our offense around that. And they wiggle Tyreek in motion, and then he gets open underneath, and then Tua throws the ball 15 yards, and then Tyreek Hill does the rest. Every single play, Josh Allen drops back, the line collapses because the line's not very good, and every time, every pass, it's got to be 30 yards in the air before it gets to a receiver. There's no short game. There's no motion game. It's like you're literally playing a Madden video game, and they're running these basic little routes down the field. Gabe Davis is a complete fraud. Gabe Davis is Mike Williams. Gabe Davis is Quentin Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, by the way, the term great contested catch receiver is just all that is saying the guy can't get separation. He can't get open. And that's exactly what Gabe Davis is. Just like Mike Williams, just like Quentin Johnson, that's exactly what Mike Williams is. Now they've started incorporating the Shakir guy more underneath, and he's been having success. So they fired their offensive coordinator finally, which is exactly what they needed to do. And they look good against the Jets this week. They use James Cook more in the passing game, but this offense has been completely pedestrian for the last two seasons. And I know Josh Allen. I know a lot of people are looking at Josh Allen and saying he's making all these mistakes and this and that and this and that. But this offense sucks. The coordinator sucks. And Josh Allen's not off the hook for that because Josh Allen was the guy that vouched for Dorsey to be the offensive coordinator. And they haven't done anything. There's no creativity to it. And they're out of their league when they play these other top tier teams like the Chiefs, like Miami. They're out of their league. Well, their defense has had a lot of injuries. They don't have a pass rush. Buffalo, I'm glad.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Give it to me.
Is Josh Allen a system quarterback?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no fucking way that anybody calls Josh Allen a system quarterback.
Well, you're blaming the offensive coordinator now.
Josh Allen's not Peyton Manning. Josh Allen is not.
He was bad before Dayball and bad after Dayball.
Right,
he did not look bad before Dayball.
You're just facts.
How?
Real quick.
How does he look bad? Josh Allen went from having the lowest completion percentage as a rookie to having the best completion percentage the last 3 years. Josh Allen has scored more touchdowns than any quarterback since he's been in the fucking league. How can you guys say that? It doesn't make any sense. How do you say that? Josh Allen
I'm just mocking you guys with using
as far as the numbers go. Every single year, he is always the top. Passing touchdowns, completion percentage.
When you say system quarterback,
he's being asked to do too much.
When you say system quarterback, Nick, when you say system quarterback, the term means can he overcome his mistakes?
Is Josh Allen overcoming his mistakes? I don't think
Obviously
he is.
He has.
Listen. Hold on. Stop. Everybody stop. No, everybody stop. We're going to get this out of the way right now. No, we're going to get this out of the way right now.
What do you mean? So you don't go, oh,
Josh
shit,
Allen,
he might have a chance?
A system quarterback is somebody that cannot do anything.
Defense need to step up, right?
A system quarterback is somebody that cannot do something special outside of the system. Outside of the system, he can't do anything special.
That's what the system quarterback means. When they say
Josh Allen
quarterback,
can do anything in any system. Brock Purdy can't do it. Jared Goff can't do it. Kirk Cousins can't do it. You can't do anything special outside of the system you're in. Josh Allen can go to any team in the NFL and run any offense he wants, any offense that's out there, any single one of them, and have success.
You just ranted on how their offense is horrible. You just ranted on the OC and the offense has been horrible for 2 years.
You did rant.
Now you're telling me Josh Allen can run in the offense. How does that make any sense?
You're going insane. But he still has had success. He has still had success.
And throwing a lot of picks.
Yardage, touchdowns, completion percentage.
Hey, real quick. Sam Howell's leading the league in passing yards. Should that mean something?
Yeah, he's a
It's
system
not
quarterback.
just yardage,
Who's his offensive coordinator?
When have the Bills
Who's his
had a
offensive
losing
coordinator?
record? When have
Is
the
Kansas
Bills not
City-
been in
is
the
Kansas
playoffs?
City
They get
struggling?
to the playoffs
Is
every
Kansas
fucking
City
year.
struggling, Nick?
Every year.
Is Kansas
Every
City
year.
struggling? Who's the
How do you
problem?
say that he
Who's the
doesn't have
problem now?
success every year? Top completion percentage.
Who's the problem?
in the playoffs.
Oh
Touchdown.
my
Number
God.
one receiver every year. Diggs
Then
has
don't-
had his best
Don't
years
blame
with
the OC
Allen.
then.
How do you
Don't blame the
say?
OC. Don't blame
How
the
do you
OC.
say it? The
It's on
offense
Josh
is
Allen. It's on Josh
All
Allen.
right.
I'm by the coordinator.
Look,
Hey,
Oh
look,
my
before
you have
God.
brain injury,
How
calm
do you
down.
blame the
Look,
guy?
look.
What can he do? What
wow.
else do you want
He's
him
on
to
his
do?
juice.
Play middle linebacker?
Look.
My God.
Okay, look.
I need
Look,
White
let's
Claw.
be real about this. Let's be real about
Ah.
this. Okay, I'm glad you got that out, Jake. Okay, that was amazing. Hope you're okay. Okay,
Oh.
but Josh Allen, basically, you're kind of contradicting. What they're saying is they don't run the ball because they have Josh Allen, which makes their a system that they have
like
because
4
they
running
don't
backs.
run the ball. If Josh Allen can go somewhere else and not have to do all that running and maybe actually be a quarterback, maybe it would be different. So I understand what's being said here. Holy shit, that was epic.
I don't think no one wants to play for Josh Allen.
So I think it's in
Tough luck.
real quick, just so we can kind of turn away. We only have a little bit of time left. We want to talk Chargers now that Big Papa is in town. We gotta talk some Chargers, but Jake, I thought the Bills were up on the rise. They were doing everything right, drafting Josh Allen, Diggs.
They will be there.
And
they will be in the playoffs this year.
Are
Be
they
there.
Are they gonna make that turn? Like, are they really gonna overcome the Pat Mahomes and the AFC teams? Are they? Because it looks like this year they're a little suspect. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll see.
They took 2 steps back, just like the Chargers.
I think they're still there, but like I said, I guess we'll find out this year where they really went. Are they going up still or going
And
down?
my point now that we're going in the Chargers is with these quarterbacks that we've been saying they're top 5 for the last 5 years or 4 years, I'm not blaming the coach. I'm not. Because guess what? I see Justin Hurts, right? What does he
Jalen.
do? Is he the most
Jalen.
talented?
Who?
No.
Justin Hurts. Is that a combined? Who's that?
Jalen Hurts, sorry.
Two guys-
Jalen Hurts.
two guys
Is he the
combined
most
in one?
talented? Absolutely not. But what does he do? He's a leader. He has all these intangibles, and he finds a way to win.
No, he has a toothbrush. That's a system quarterback. Cheaters. Those guys are
Justin,
fucking
All
cheaters.
I'm saying is
Cheaters.
Justin Herbert doesn't find ways to win. I don't know why.
What do
I don't know
you
how. He
mean?
doesn't find ways
His
to win.
fault that
He
he drops
doesn't-
the ball.
He doesn't overcome.
He can't
what he
catch
needs to
everything.
overcome.
He can't catch everything too.
That defense finds the way to win.
The defense
Where was
is
Where was
trash.
Jalen Hurts
He
at
got 2
halftime
stops.
yesterday?
All you
Negative
gotta do is
yards?
stop him twice, Nick. What are you saying?
Okay, so when you get so let's go over the games this year. When you get the ball in overtime, right? You win the coin flip. You get the ball. What did he do? 3 and out.
Follow
Right?
the game
3
plan.
and out.
What
3
do
and
you
out.
mean?
Okay.
Did you see what?
Dude,
What did
there's
they call?
been
What play did you
there's
call?
been
What
3
play did you
games
call?
where Justin Herbert
What
had the
4
ball in
plays
his
did
hand
you
to win
call?
it, and he doesn't do it.
What 4
You
plays
can't
did
blame
call?
it.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
So what? Why are they running spread when it's overtime? Run your
Again,
regular offense.
so now it's the coaching.
No, it's 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute drive. Why are you running 2-minute drive when you have nothing but time? Stop it. Stop it. Why?
So now Kellen Moore,
Why are you
who's
running
the offensive
2-minute drive
guru,
in overtime?
doesn't know how to run an
That
offense.
doesn't make any sense.
So now, no, hold on. So now Kellen Moore doesn't know how to run an offense. That's what you're saying?
What do you mean? That's the. What do you
All
want
I'm
me to
saying
do?
is
So
you
wanna
had the
audible
ball
and go,
in
hey,
3
let's
different
go
games
I
this year.
formation. What do
The
you
Chargers
mean?
had the ball in 3 of their losses. The Chargers
Yes.
had the ball
Yes.
with Justin Herbert time
Okay,
to go
2
make
of those.
it happen.
Okay, those 2.
he did
He's
it.
human. He's human. All right. We'll give him those 2 games.
But it's been
Right?
4
We'll give him
years.
those
It's
2
the same
games.
thing. It's
But
been
that
4
last game
years.
you were talking
It's
about,
been 4 years. He's up
All right.
30 to 3 in the playoff game and blows it. All he needed to do is make one more
Drew.
throw. They would have won.
and the defense had to do 2 more stops. It goes both ways, right? Special teams
But
should have stopped.
who,
They should've
Drew.
who
blocked
gets the credit when
They
they
should
win?
How do
Stop
you
it.
make this argument for Herbert but not for Allen? It's the same
That
thing.
doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. He has no weapons. He has old man Allen, and the one thing he could do.
Now
catch
Keenan
the
Allen's
ball.
not a weapon.
All he has
Now
to do is
Keenan
catch
Allen's
the
not a
ball.
weapon. Get out of
3
here.
Here we
times
go.
He drops the
Get
ball.
out of here.
No, what is this? What is
Yes,
best?
I get it. I
What is
get
his
it.
best
We're gonna
talent,
say he
right?
has no weapons now. We're
He
gonna
doesn't
say
have
he got
weapons.
no coaching now.
Who
We're
does
gonna
he have?
say
Who does he have? Tell me one guy.
he has Eckler. What are you talking about?
What is
Eckler and
Eckler
Allen.
doing? He's
He's
struggling.
got more
He's
than a
about
lot of other
money.
quarterbacks.
What do you mean? You can tell his heart's not in the game.
Hey, he's got more
You
than
can
Mahomes.
tell.
He's
You
got
can
more than
tell.
Mahomes.
He
He's got
does have more than Mahomes.
He's got
He
more.
does have more than Mahomes.
Definitely has more weapons than Mahomes.
100%.
What do you? Oh my
100%.
So Kelsey,
They have a
Kelsey's
winning
not
record.
the best player in the game.
And Justin
As a
Herbert's
tight
top
end.
5. I keep hearing for the last 4 years.
He doesn't have a top
So
one.
there's that big of a drop off.
Hold on a
Who's his
second.
number one?
Okay,
Who's his
okay.
number one?
Let me.
Exactly. He doesn't have one weapon.
Okay.
He's not a number one guy. He's not a
Look,
top
Keenan
one
Allen?
guy anyway.
Keenan Allen is a number 1. In what world are
He's
you
the
talking
number
about?
one. You're
Yes.
out of your mind. That guy's a slot or number 2 at best. What are you saying?
Oh my!
I'm trying. Oh.
Wow.
No,
Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're
Wow.
So he's the number one.
absolutely
He's the
Keenan
number
Allen's
one.
a
He makes
100% number one.
separation, and he
100%
can
number
win the
1.
50-50 ball.
100% number
He's
1.
a number
He can win
one.
the 50-50 ball.
He's the first at
You don't know what the
10,000.
difference
He's the
between
first charge
a
to
number
10,000
A
yards.
number one is what is his best weapon?
You don't get 10,000
on
yards
offense.
without being a
His
number 1,
hands,
Art.
right? His hands, right? Did he show up? No, he didn't. All he had to do was catch 2 more
What
balls.
What did
and
you
we're
just
up
tell me about
14
Herbert? What did
points.
you just tell me about Herbert? He's
What about
human.
He what?
He's human, right?
He is human.
Dude, you don't get 10,000 yards as the number 2 receiver. No number 2 receiver in the history of NFL has 10,000
And
yards.
what happens? Okay, what happens when he has a number one weapon like Mike Williams? That's
Okay.
healthy. That's what happens. He
What
comes
happens
in
is
and
they
stops
don't even
no ball.
they miss the playoffs or lose in their first playoff game. That's
Oh
what
my
happens.
God.
So what happens
You're
if
just
Josh?
like the Raiders fan.
What
You're
happens?
just the Raiders fan.
Jacob and
No, I'm criticizing
Drew,
all quarterbacks
Drew.
the same.
What's
what,
up?
What happens if Justin Herbert is a Bill, or vice versa, or Josh Allen was a Charger?
I think it's very similar. I think honestly, I think the Chargers would be a better team if they had Josh Allen. I'll say that for sure.
What?
But
Listen, these guys. I'm not. When we say elite quarterbacks, listen. The argument we're going like elite and system quarterbacks. Josh Allen's talent, his ability, what he does on the football field. The guy can throw flat-footed 50 yards downfield on a rope. You don't have 1 to 2 quarterbacks in the league that can do that, okay? But an offensive coordinator comes in, and their job, they're getting paid to make up an offensive scheme that everybody on the offense, no matter if you're a Josh Allen, a Jared Goff, a Brock Purdy, it doesn't matter, Jimmy Garoppolo, it doesn't fucking matter. They run that system, and sometimes the system sucks. Now, Josh Allen has had a system that sucks, and he has done the best as statistically and win-loss, the best that I think any quarterback in the NFL could do in an offensive system that sucks. Justin Herbert, same thing, a lot of skill set. The Chargers, but the thing is with the Chargers,
coaches,
that's so different than anything else, is the Chargers,
in the last
the
4
Chargers are so like black magic terrible.
Beyond 3 head coaches, 3 head coaches.
Like you can have, like, dude. Last year, Austin Eckler scored what? 20 fucking touchdowns.
Carr gets all the. Oh,
I mean,
he had different.
They have the bet. They have the second highest payroll. The second highest payroll on defense to the Chargers, and then Brandon Staley's supposed to be this defensive guru, and they still find a way to lose. The Chargers, it's different because the Chargers are just like when you come to LA to play football for the Chargers, it's like people just check out, man. Like nobody wants that. So it doesn't matter what goes on with the Chargers; they're gonna be awful. You can put fucking Joe Montana and Jerry
stop it
Rice
right there.
on.
First off, they come to California, okay? They came to California, and they figure out there's so much to do in life than just play football. When they go to Buffalo, they have nothing to do. What are they doing right now? Sitting at home doing shit. Nothing. Because it's
Keenan Allen is having the best. Keenan Allen is having the best year of his career. Keenan Allen is having the best year of his career. You just spent a number 1 pick on a bust because you
Oh,
have no
100%.
scouting talent receiver who just
100%.
dropped the game-winning pass. Okay,
100%.
you have the best offensive
But that's
line that
Herbert's
you have
fault.
had.
That's
You had
Herbert's
the
fault.
best offensive line. Who have they drafted?
He doesn't have the
how many
best offensive
first-round
line.
picks do you have on the offensive line? They have the
We have
second
two.
highest payroll for
We have
defensive
2
unit. The
first-round
second
picks.
highest payroll,
Stop it.
and they're the
They
second
drafted
worst
well.
defense.
We have a
So
right tackle that's a bum.
the
Like,
Chargers
stop
are a
it.
completely different story. They shouldn't even be
Stop.
talked about.
What do you
as
mean?
far as
So
it
that's their fault? What do you have? Von Miller, that's an all-star. What do you mean?
He's fucking
You have
old.
He
first-
hasn't even done anything this year.
What do you
He's
mean?
been hurt.
So he hasn't
He's
won
been
a Super
hurt.
Bowl? He was an MVP candidate? What are you saying?
A
This
decade
year.
ago.
We're talking about this year.
What
He
is
hasn't
What,
done
what are
anything.
you? But he's talking
Second Super Bowl
about,
pick.
he's talking
Oh,
about
you
what they
guys.
have. He has all first-round picks on the defensive line, right?
Who?
You have
The Chargers?
No, the
Well,
Bills,
No.
Ed Alder and who?
all of them. They're all
No.
Ed
first-round
Alder and who?
picks.
well, look.
You're mistaken for the 49er defensive line.
Ed
No.
Alder and who?
Look, hey, look them up. Look them up. Miami, what does that do? Phillips, number 1 pick, that defensive tackle. I don't know his damn name. Number 1 pick. I don't know anybody about the Bills, but I know who they drafted because I watched the draft. I
So
watched
now it's
college
their fault
football.
because they draft good? What do you
What do
what
you
trying to say?
mean? What are you saying? You're saying that Josh Allen doesn't have any help. That's what you're saying.
No,
What?
I didn't hear
But you're
That's
anything.
what
talking
Jake
about the
said.
defense. You're talking
That's
about
what
the
Jake said.
defense.
All right.
Exactly. We're talking about the defense, right? You have number 1 draft picks all
No,
around that first round
Josh
pick.
Allen
On the
doesn't have
defensive
any
line.
of their first
Here's my
round
point.
defenders
Here,
playing
I'm gonna
offense.
make my final point because I know we gotta go.
Yeah,
My
I gotta
final
go too.
point is if Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are the dudes, I don't want no excuses. I'm not talking to them about like Derek Carr and Jared Goff and all these other quarterbacks that we know need help. What I'm saying is these guys have said they're the dudes. Joe Burrow's a dude. Patrick Mahomes a dude. Josh Allen's a
are.
dude. Justin
guys
Herbert's
are.
a dude. I don't want to hear about offense coordinators. I don't want to hear about your defense. I don't want to hear about nothing. You're the dude. Patrick Mahomes don't get those excuses. You don't get any excuses. Now, when you're
Get outta
Jared
here.
Goff and Dak
Well,
Prescott and Derek Carr,
Oh,
and
you
all,
get all the
we all
excuses.
know they need help.
You
We're
get all
not
the
trying to
excuses.
compare them to the 12th ranked quarterback. We're talking top
Then why is
in
Brock
the
Purdy?
game.
Why
No.
is all the Niner fans crying
make-
about Brock?
I
Purdy
just want to
being
make one
MVP?
point. I just want to ask one question.
Stop it.
Like to people watching, I just want to ask one question to everybody watching, everybody in the panel. What makes the quarterback the dude? Okay, because you had like Dan Marino, one of the greatest of all time to throw the ball, play the game. Never won a Super Bowl. Okay,
The
I mean,
dude.
what makes the guy the dude? Like
No,
what?
if
What
you can
makes
overcome
somebody
mistakes.
the guy?
Look,
That's
my,
all
my,
it
a
is.
my
Super
question,
Bowl win?
my,
All
no,
right.
my
You can
question was
overcome. If
rhetorical
you can
earlier.
overcome mistakes.
The main
you're the
thing is
dude.
why Josh
That's
Allen
it.
is the dude is they're supposed to be able to overcome the deficiencies of the team.
That's it.
That's
yes,
the dude.
that's the dude.
But
That's what
okay,
that
but listen, stop. But listen, okay, Josh Allen is in his 5th year. Okay, quarterbacks go 15 years. So in the next, say, 3 years, he wins 2 Super Bowls. Okay, this
Yeah.
conversation, somebody goes back and watches this conversation, and then they look at the success Josh Allen has had in the last 4 years, and then they say that he won the Super Bowl, and it's like, how would anybody have ever argued that this
Not
guy
true.
wasn't
Not
the guy?
true. It's okay. We're allowed to update our argument. It's what we see now. Tom Brady was a system quarterback for
what you
6
say now.
years. Tom Brady was a system quarterback for 6 years until he proved us wrong, and now he's the greatest of all time. We're allowed to change our narrative.
I know he's still
At
got.
Yeah,
this point,
He's a little.
Sometimes
point.
it takes a little bit more. Sometimes it takes a little bit more. I mean, I feel like with
I'm
Herbert
not calling
and
him
Allen, we're
assistant
kind of
quarterback.
jumping the gun.
It was
We're
a
jumping the
rhetorical.
gun
If
on
you
it.
put Herbert or
Hey,
Allen
alright,
on the
look.
Niners,
Jake,
they're gonna win
it was
the
a
Super Bowl.
rhetorical
What are
question
you talking about?
if I call him a system quarterback because you were blaming the OC. What
All
I'm
right.
saying is Josh Allen is a dude. I believe he is a dude, which I don't want to hear about the OC. He needs to overcome that. If
All
he's
right.
that good, he needs
All
to
right, look,
overcome it. That's
look.
my point.
I
I gotta
apologize.
peace out, y'all. I gotta go to work.
Yes,
Love
me
y'all.
too. It's okay. We'll
Peace
end it
out.
real quick. Thank you, Papa.
Love y'all.
But the saga will continue, you guys. Obviously, pop up with the playoff talk. You have a chance to win the playoffs still. But we're gonna.
We should reevaluate the rantings.
We're gonna see
Oh, and 6.
creep.
0 and 6.
And
Coming back.
we'll re-feature the quarterback who is the
6.
dude
I'm gonna make
argument.
the
I'm
play.
making it.
I want to
I'm
say.
gonna make the playoffs.
I want to say
0 and
thank
6,
you
baby.
guys. I want to say thank you guys. Peace out next week.
All right. Love y'all.
Later, guys.
Peace out.
Later.